Hey, Mike. All right, Kevin. That's my friend Renee, right there, and she's the mother of Ryan Wong. And some of us were climbing our usual winter trip to Ouray, and we come across Ryan. We met Ryan, that's her son, on the ice, and she's much more eloquent than I am. Everybody's more eloquent than I am. And Renee is gonna take it from here, and she's gonna tell you whatever she wants about, we have the privilege of helping her son. And her son has helped so many people. And I'm not gonna tell a whole lot more of the story, but we'll let Renee tell about her awesome things that she's been doing, and she'll tell you a little bit about Ryan. I wish I got to know him a little bit better. I've got to know him pretty well in the last little bit, but anyways, Renee, does that sound okay? You take it from here and tell us about Ryan. Tell us about whatever you want to about this last year.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, good. Well, first of all, thank you for letting me share highlights about my son, Ryan. I could talk about him all day long, but I'm keeping this to about 6 minutes. So Ryan, well, he grew up in Texas, and our family would go on ski trips every 2 to 3 years. So he got to fall in love with the mountains. I'm a skier, so I wanted to make sure that my kids knew snow and mountains. So Ryan actually skied in Salt Lake City area at Snowbird and Alta a couple of times, Lake Tahoe, Colorado. During high school, he was a lifeguard, and he also worked in a rock climbing gym. It's when he started, learning his ropes and climbing. During high school, he did a Germany or exchange program, a student exchange program in Germany 2 times. So got to travel that. And then he was also in the junior ROTC, and these were his choices. He was a good kid. During college, he took a gap year, and Ryan hiked 870 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail. He saved up money. He had a plan. He got the equipment. He wanted to do the whole trail, but the Sierra Nevada mountains had a lot of snow, and they just kind of kicked his butt, and he did his journey. 870 miles is more than anybody else that I personally know. So it was a really a growing experience for him. He graduated with a degree in forestry management in December 2019. And when he was in college, he also did an internship in Alaska. So clearly he loved the outdoors. After college, he worked for arborists, and he was one of those guys in the trees with a chainsaw, with the ropes, trimming trees. So he really did know his ropes. Okay. And his goal was to go into sales and all that. In October, he was living in Texas. In October 2020, during the pandemic, Ryan was ready to get to the mountains, and he found a job up in Fort Collins. And so he moved to Fort Collins, Colorado. And I am so grateful that I helped him drive. We had the U-Haul, we had his Honda Civic in the back, and we drove 827 miles in one day from Fort Worth to Fort Collins, and Ryan did 90% of the driving. And I was happy he was finally in, the mountains in Colorado. So when he was living in Colorado, he started hiking. He fell in love with the 14ers, the 14,000 elevation peaks. There's 58 of them. Ryan climbed 34 14ers, some were repeats, but he lived for the mountains. He met hiking friends on the mountains. He found his tribe, really nice people. So I was really happy for him, really happy that he was living, his life. Ryan, he was quiet. He was funny. He was kind of an old soul. He was very kind. He was my biggest cheerleader. He always encouraged me. And he also, according to his hiking friends, encouraged them too. So if there was bad weather or they were in tricky conditions, he got everybody, kept them going. And Ryan also, he loved Formula One because he liked the strategy. He would watch it for 24 hours out in Australia or whatever. He liked playing video games when he wasn't climbing. He liked Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and he loved the music from those types of shows. He liked musicals like Hamilton. He would sing it. And he was a Taylor Swift fan. And we could never understand why, but he was. He saw her in 2016 at a concert at Road America in Austin. So that's when he became a Swiftie, and now I'm one. And then the last 3 years of Ryan's life, he had brown curly hair, he wore it in a mullet, and he was proud of the mullet, and he wore these Viper sunglasses and really colorful clothes. Like when he was hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, he was wearing tan, blending in when he was 20. When he was like 25, 26, 27 in Colorado, teal, orange, purple. Like, I think he really started finding himself and became more confident. So Ryan started ice climbing last season, and he was really excited. It was on his list, but he kind of waited, a year or whatever in Colorado, and he started climbing. He found a mentor to teach him. He probably went about a dozen times. And each time he would go maybe like 10, 15 laps. He would turn down routes that were too challenging for him. Like, I know that, he told me this. And then on February 24th, on a Friday, he drove to Ouray from Fort Collins. It's a 6-hour drive. He was super excited about that weekend. He'd been planning it for weeks and weeks. He was going to stay with a friend, go ice climbing with them on Saturday and Sunday. Well, on Friday, he was so excited, he couldn't wait, and he decided to go solo climbing. And I am so grateful that Kevin and his 3 sons and another couple, they were climbing in Ouray that day, and they found Ryan. And he was unresponsive at first. They were able to get him down. He was on an easier route. He wasn't doing anything crazy. He had all the right equipment. We're not sure what happened. Banged his head. It was a slip, but the rope cut off his circulation, and we don't know how long. And so I met Kevin and one of his sons, Jacob, my husband and I did in Moab about a month ago. So we got to meet him in person and kind of really hear the details. And at that point I was ready. And Kevin told us the story that, so he was giving mouth to Ryan for 9 minutes. And then Kevin said, "Dude, do you really want to keep smelling my bad breath?" And then Ryan started breathing on his own. And it's a miracle, right? These angels on earth. And then people at the Ouray Ice Water Park were helping to carry Ryan out of the gorge, and so that he could get out of there. And Ouray Search and Rescue flew him to Grand Junction, to St. Mary's, which is the biggest trauma hospital in the area. And Ryan's family, my husband and I, his dad, stepmom, sister, cousin, aunts, all flew and were with Ryan in ICU. And he was on life support, full life support the entire time. But we were able to be together along with a couple of hiking friends of Ryan's, sharing stories and talking to him and telling him, okay, you got to be that trail angel, help others avoid this situation. And we kept his body alive longer so that he could donate his organs. So in the end, Ryan is a hero because he saved 5 lives with his organs, his lungs, his heart, both kidneys. And another miracle is that his liver went to one of my friends, a friend of a friend's nephew who lived in Steamboat, who'd been on the list, who happened to be a match. He received Ryan's liver. And he's 36. His name is Zach. And we met him. We had 5 celebrations of life for Ryan in different places. But the most meaningful one, I think, was in Colorado, because that's really where Ryan's heart was, where he loved life the most. And we got to meet Zach there. And he's a really good guy. He's going to radiology school, and he's got this great outlook on life, and he's got a sweet disposition, and his family is very grateful. And so his mom sent a check to Utah SAR for $1,000 and also to Uray SAR as well. And so that's like part of it. When we were having these celebrations of life in lieu of flowers, please donate to these organizations. You know, Uray SAR for flying Ryan to Grand Junction, and then Utah SAR because Kevin was there to resuscitate him and to be with him. And also to the Rocky Mountain National Park, because of course Ryan loved the mountains. And I just want you guys to know that it's been quite the grief journey, but I am so grateful that I had 27 years with Ryan. He lived his life to the fullest, and we supported his passions. I bought him ice climbing equipment. I have no regrets. I feel like his soul left in Uray in a very beautiful place doing what he loved. I miss him. I talk to him. I get signs from him. And I think a lot of people have he's made an impact. A lot of people where, yeah, living life to the fullest and enjoying life is really important. So I just want to thank everybody, especially Kevin. I mean, this has been quite the year. But I just want you guys to know that, you know, I'm appreciative. I'm just glad Ryan was in my life and he did what he did. I'm very proud of him.
Anybody have questions for Renee? Anything else? Ask her while she's here. Maybe while you're thinking about that. Renee, I wish I could just hug you again. She and
I know.
We spent 3 hours at that restaurant until they finally beat us out. Can you hold the?
That's about as I might get closer.
Renee, so Nate, how much?
Total with the last check is $4,100.
$4,100.
And also, I mean, it was a group, like my ex-husband, Ryan's dad, and his sister. I mean, we all, you know, were posting this on our social media accounts. So the entire family is grateful for, you know, Kevin's efforts and everybody's efforts, and for organizations, search and rescue organizations.
So the first installment of your kind contributions, we've got 3 of these AEDs. And so we got 4 AEDs with
Wow.
your contributions. Great for the mountains, little lightweight things.
Yeah.
So super cool. And I have to show you, can you see the close up on that AED?
Ryan's sticker.
Yeah, super cool stickers, man. They look cool. Your ice axes or on your skis. I've got them on my skis right there. And on these, they're right there on the back.
Aw.
Yeah. So 4 AEDs is what we've got.
Wow.
And so we're gonna train on them and hopefully never use them. But if we do, we're gonna save a life with your donation.
Yeah. Well, you know, and that's the thing too. There were articles in like Durango newspaper, all these different Colorado newspapers about this accident, and I could not read them until 2 weeks before Moab, and then I was like, okay, now I'm ready to read it, and I'm glad I did. But I'm also hoping that anybody who read that and in the ice climbing community will learn. You know, maybe it's not the best idea to ice climb alone and always go with a partner. So I'm hoping that Ryan has made several impacts for the future as well. And so this is great.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. What is part of our gratitude for the donations and everything else is we've created this plaque for you. We'll put it in the mail and send it over to you here soon. But it reads, in loving memory of her son, Ryan. Ryan's selfless acts will have a lasting impact, from saving lives through organ donation to acquiring new medical equipment. With the help of Ryan and his caring mother, Renee, the legacy of their service will endure. May the peace of God rest upon you and upon your family. from the Utah County Search and Rescue.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Renee.
Wow. All of this is part of the healing process. Talking about it and sharing, and it's all part of it. And like I said, I'm just really proud. It's quite the story.
Wonderful. Renee, thank you so much for spending the evening with us. Thank you for sharing with us about Ryan. But we'll let you go for the evening, and again, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Everybody stay safe. Happy holidays. And yeah, 2024. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share too. All right. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you, Mike.
See ya.